Hey, how's it going? Michael Graves from MonkeyMagicShop.com, and this is Carlos Danger.
Hey guys.
You actually kind of look like Nicholas.
A little bit, right?
A little bit, except not as attractive. Sorry.
Oh.
So the big hublub was the first review I did, and I actually had a chance to talk to Nicholas on Facebook. We've been corresponding back and forth and have a pretty good rapport going. And I told him that I was going to take the other video down and I'm going to redo the review. And I'm not going to redo it just to make it positive, but I'm going to go a little more in depth. And I had Carlos here. He took a look at the DVD. We've talked about it. And we're just going to talk about the effects and then a few other things. So it's going to be a little bit longer because I want to touch on the effects. I want to be fair to Nicholas. And I want him to see that this is going to be the review show of the ages.
I guess.
Or something like
that.
Something like that. So, here's the deal. We're going to start off with the X move. This one, Carlos, as you saw, was the moving ink plot.
Yep.
Spectator signs a card. You then draw an X on that card with a Sharpie. The X jumps from the card to your hand, then back to the card, then back to your hand. Then the card can be fairly handed out right afterwards.
Okay, yeah.
That's the base effect.
Yep, yep.
And I missed a few points, I will admit, in my first review that I didn't quite catch from watching it one time. What this has taught me is what I've done usually is I watch the DVD 2 or 3 times. Nicholas, I'm sorry, I just watched it once, and I did actually miss a few things. I will admit that. The base effect where the X lands, it looks good.
I really think it does look good. It's really visual. You know?
It's very visual, and the one thing that I like is that the spectator can actually take the card off the top of the deck.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, he does pitch a second way to do the effect, and that way is having the X vanish from your palm and go up to your sleeve or go to a cup or go somewhere else. And he explains how you can do that in the DVD. He does pitch another product, which it makes sense.
It does because it makes it stronger, but I think it's kind of tacky.
A little bit. So, but the effect itself is very fair. I would think you'd have to use this as an opener if you did it the way he did it without the, well, I guess even with the gimmick that he has that you get extra, because you're going to have an X on your hand.
Yeah.
When you start doing magic, so
right.
If you walk up to them and you're doing other tricks, they're going to see an X.
I mean, you know, I don't think if you
and that's if you want it here.
Right.
You know,
you could put it wherever.
Yeah. I had an idea that you could, Nicholas, have it jump. This would be if you had the extra thing that you would like to buy. You could actually have it jump from the card to your hand, card, hand. You throw it back and it vanishes.
Yeah.
So it's not here anymore. Where is it? It's on the other side of their signed card.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So now it's moved from the back of the card to the front of the card.
Yeah.
And when you show them the card in the beginning, you can use your thumb to hide that X. So they see the Queen of Diamonds or whatever. You turn the card over, they sign it, you draw the X. Back and forth. Seemingly you throw it and nothing happens. They take the card and the X is on the other side.
But I do think the original, the way he does it, you know, in the original
one
without the extra thingy, I still think it's pretty good.
And you could even with the original version have the X appear on the other side of the card.
You can
have it appear anywhere.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
you can pull down your pants and show your bum.
Yeah, whatever. Or
that'd be a circle though.
Yeah,
or something. You know. So all in all, I do like the effect. He does explain it really well.
It's very visual. It's very if you're into that moving ink pot, it's definitely worth checking out.
Angles are good.
Yep.
I mean, pretty much
angle proof almost.
I can't really see anyone seeing really what's going on.
No.
And I like how the gimmick is portable, so it's not gonna mess up.
It's really nice.
All right, let's talk about Folder. The plot of this one, as you know, spectator selects a card out of the deck. You then open up your wallet and you pull out a card that is in fourths, and you show them that you mentioned that I had predicted a card earlier. It was the King of Hearts, and their card, let's say, is the Eight of Hearts. And as they're looking at the folded corner, they actually see it change to their copy of their card.
Right.
You talk about it a little bit. I want to get a card so I can kind of explain what I'm saying.
Okay.
You explain what you thought. I'm going to be right back. Go to the magic room. Go ahead.
Yeah, I really liked it. I think it's a really good idea. I guess it's not something that really fits my style of magic, but it definitely has a place. I guess I do something similar to it, but I do it with a more, you can see the whole card.
Here I come.
I kind of like that idea, but this is a really good idea.
You did have a good point about the color too.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't go from a red to red. I would go from a black to a red, because in that case that somebody doesn't necessarily see the card. Like if it was like
just glance at it
7
quick.
of diamonds and then you're changing it to a king of diamonds or something. I think having a very different card, or even a joker, something to show that the color changes with
that happened. And I'm going to show the card here. This is not the gimmick, but when you take the card out, they basically see this part of the card. So you have a card folded up in fourths, just like that, and then they're going to see this part right there, and they will see the pip. That whole inside here will change. Yeah. And then you unfold the card and hand it out.
It's a really nice idea. It's a really cool. It's a different take on a lot of the other things out there. I guess I wouldn't really do it.
It's not my thing. I did have issue in the first one that I actually talked to Nicholas about showing the card when you actually unfold the card. He did want to remind me too. We were talking that it kind of fits with the creases, so it's a little hidden. On the DVD, he showed it. I mean, he's really giving a super close up, but I know you saw it when you just saw the trailer.
Yeah.
But that's one thing, sometimes magicians are looking for that.
Right.
I do believe that, Nicholas, you could, when the card's here, you could unfold it this way.
The show is definitely the weakest part of it.
The weakest part. But you can adapt that. If you're not comfortable opening it up, showing it like this,
you'll understand.
You'll understand. Pop it backwards and flip. You're gonna be fine.
I think there's a better way to go about it.
There is.
I don't want to talk about it.
Exactly. I do like the idea of the folded card in the wallet. I've always liked the magician being wrong plot.
And prediction and being wrong. Yeah.
I've always liked that. I've always thought that was very strong. So I like it, except for the reveal.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Good.
Live band. This one's pretty quick.
That's the changing rubber. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
This one I like.
I really like it.
I like the fact that we were talking that it'd probably be a good opener, and I think he kind of explains that.
Yeah, it would be.
It
would be a really good opener.
Yeah, it'd be hard to set up while if you're doing a rubber band routine, and then you want to go into this.
Yeah.
You could, but I think going for an opener would be a lot better. This is more up your alley. This one is called Cigarette.
Yeah, I really like cigarette stuff because it's kind of like a dying art. Not a lot of people smoke apparently anymore, but I think it's more of the fact that you can't smoke anywhere anymore.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the old luster to
Dennis Leary touched on that. We're gonna be under our covers smoking a cigarette while the
right.
cops are outside. Yeah, we know you're in there. Yeah, get out there. Yeah.
I really like it though. The allusion to it, really nice.
Okay. For those that don't know, the illusion is, normally you can snort the cigarette, you can put the cigarette in your ear, pull it out your ear, out your mouth.
A whole bunch of different things.
This one allows you to put the tip of the cigarette on your finger and push it into your eye.
And it actually collapses.
Yep. Looks like it's going all the way up and then pulls down.
The cigarette shrinks in a sense.
Now, I'm not a cigarette person. I guess
it's one of those things that I think cigarettes, you have to be a smoker.
You do.
You really do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not, you don't have to be for this.
Yeah,
I don't recommend that you do. It's just...
Yeah. You could borrow the cigarette from someone, but you would have to know ahead of time a few things about what they're going to borrow you.
But honestly, I don't think you really need to.
No.
It's just one of those things that you would have to add to your repertoire if you are a smoker.
Yeah, I think
it's not something that you would just go, hey.
Yeah.
Can I
Or
get a
even if
cigarette
you're not a
from you?
smoker, if you do cigarette magic.
Right.
Because some people don't smoke and they do cigarette magic, which is really weird to me.
Right. It is kind of, but, you know. It is, if you're into it, it's something cool to check out.
He explains how to build the gimmick really well.
Really well. All of his stuff is pretty well.
My thing is, I just don't. I still think the up the nose, out here, out here, out here, I think is visually more appealing to me.
Yeah.
You know how fast it is and how it looks like it's gone and then it's out your ear and then it's back up. Where this is more of a slow, watch what's happening. So, you know, to
it's kind of one of those like shock things, you know, like, you know, if you use razor blades. It's cool.
Do it with a lit cigarette, Nicholas. All right? Right
it's
there.
cool, but I don't. I mean, I prefer, like you said too, you know, the more of the classic style.
Exactly.
But it's a really nice take on it. You know, if it's something that you like, go into it.
Very cool.
Not something that I would do.
Monty matches.
Monty
you can explain.
Okay. That's you show a matchbook that has one match, and then you show a matchbook that has full set of matches, and then it's like a Monty effect where, you know, you give somebody them a full match pack. You have
show your
one. Then they change places.
Yep.
It's kind of like a chance ball.
So it's a full
match pack.
It's
like a 2-card Monty.
Exactly. Or like the old $5 bill to the $1 bill. I like it and I don't like it. You brought up a good point that I didn't think about. There's not a lot of matches around anymore.
No.
You know, it used to be like, I think Nicholas, he told me he's 27.
Yeah.
I'm 40, so I remember when, you know, matches were at every single darn bar, everywhere you went,
right.
Perkins or Denny's.
But they're not very common.
They're not common, but
but it's not something that is uncommon either.
Exactly.
You know? But it's like cigarettes. You know, it's kind of the same thing. You know, if you could do them together. You know, you do the cigarette, and then you can do
matches.
It just has to fit with your style of what you're doing.
Yes.
You can't. I guess I wouldn't just come up to somebody and say, "Hey, I have a book of matches. Here's Monty matches." You know, I wouldn't do it that way. You know, like I said, if you were a smoker, you do a lot of cigarette stuff or fire routine stuff, you could incorporate that in your routine.
Now, when he does the routine, when he's done with it, he then lets them examine both of the matchbooks.
Yep.
Myself, I don't know if this is possible. I think it would be. I think it'd be stronger if you let them examine both matchbooks first, then took them back.
There's definitely, there's a way that you could do it, but we can't.
Yeah, I think it would be more work.
It would be maybe a little bit more ballsy.
Yeah, I think it would.
But it would make it a lot better.
Yeah.
You know, but if you can get past that by your pattern, you know, by your misdirection, and you definitely could.
He's really good.
That stuff.
So
it's
I think it's a situational effect. Nicholas and I talked about that a lot of this is situational. You know, you happen to be in a position where, oh, this kind of fits.
Yeah, it's something like, I guess the way I see it, this DVD is like, it has a whole bunch of different ideas, and it's something that you can add to your existing act. If you're a street musician, you know, like the rubber band thing, you can add to your existing rubber band thing, and it would work really well.
You can add, possibly the cigarette. You can add all kinds of
stuff. The X move, you could pretty much do on anything, you know. Exactly. So it's just kind of, I think it's more geared towards accessories.
Yeah. The next one up is Refresh. This is his take on the basically vanishing wrapper on gum. He takes out a piece of gum that is wrapped up, just your pack of gum here. He just takes it, puts it in his hand like so, and actually like this, there we go. Waves his hand over, and the gum is completely unwrapped. And he can take it, and he can pop it in his mouth.
I think it's a really cool, I think it's kind of like, it's almost like a bar thing, you know, like in a sense, like, you know, like a You Betcha thing. I think it's more like, to me, that's what it seems like. I think it's cool. It's really cool.
It might also be a situational where you really don't even mention it. You just take the gum out, and while people are watching, you don't say anything. You just, and that's kind of how he presented it. We both had an issue with how the gum was removed in his explanation.
Yeah, I think if you get this DVD, definitely watch the trailer.
Watch the trailer.
The handling is way better.
Yeah, if you watch the trailer, basically it's actually playing right now on our TV.
That's why we keep
looking over. It goes over really quick, you know, through all the effects, and it shows his gum effect, and the way he does Refresh in the trailer, the way he pulls out the gum is way more fair.
Just keep that in mind when you're doing it. Yes. I don't really like.
That's an expensive thing.
Our table is falling apart. I don't really like the handling.
True.
At first, I just think it's kind of, but I do like it. The effect. It's kind of like those. Just one of the like you said. You pull it out like Yeah. You know, if you're a magician, you could do that.
I know Sankey has done a lot of stuff with that, with the chewed gum and all that. It'd be interesting to see if you could do this in reverse, where you take a piece of chewed gum, throw it in your hand. Now it's a flat piece of gum. Mm-hmm. Now it's wrapped. Yeah. And now you put it back in. Maybe you could reverse it. I don't know. It's just ideas, and that's how things are created. You just sit there and go. But I like the effect. I think it's really practical because I think a lot of people have gum on them. And I mean, this is normal. I usually have the punch out gum and stuff because I'm old, and this gets confusing.
I like Rainbow Stripe.
Yeah, you can get like I think a case of that, and you'll be good for an hour.
Yeah, no kidding.
Flavor for an hour. Yeah, so refresh. I think if you play with it and if you watch the trailer, you'll get a better handling of it. But with anything, adapt it to your own handling. You know, if you're like, Nicholas, I don't like how you hold that. Well, then figure out a way to hold it yourself. Mm-hmm. He's just giving you the basics, jump on top of it. Next one is stir.
Stir, I really like that
when I was this actually is what got me to get the DVD. I had the idea because of how it looked. There was an effect way back when. I think I was maybe 13 years old or 14. And I had this effect, and it was extremely popular. This is Nicholas's take on that effect.
Okay.
It's very easy to make. It is basically a coffee stir, pop it through a dollar bill, or a $5 bill, or a note, or a piece of paper.
Anything.
What have you. And then pull it out, and everything can be examined.
Yep.
Everything can be examined. Talking to Nicholas about this, he was also, we talked about it's another situational thing. If I were to make one of these, I would probably do it in white. Granted,
well, I mean,
you can do it in any color.
It's just, if you go to McDonald's every morning, they have black coffee stirs.
Exactly. So that might be one thing if you want to make up a bunch of them and just like when I did pen through dollar, I would actually go into places and I would load the pin into their pin cup. Mm-hmm. So I would take their pin out and do the trick. Right. And I'd say, don't worry, I'm not going to charge you. I'll just keep the pin as payment and put it in my pocket. It's smart. It's a take on an effect that David Copperfield did, and it's really good. Yeah, I like it.
It's really easy to do, and it looks really nice. Yeah.
So, Nicholas, I hope you find this more fair. I'm going to talk there's just a few cons that we talked about. Not really a lot, because the problem with the first one was I was interpreting this as it was an impromptu stuff that I could just walk out. I could grab 2 matchbooks and do this. I could grab a coffee stir and do this. So I will put that on me for just a communication oops when I was reading it on Murphy's and other things. So that was that. The other thing is it's $34.95. Now I'm not sure if Nicholas. I don't think Nicholas has much say in how much it's going to be, because you got to pay the people to film it. Yep. You got to pay people to bring Nicholas's orange juice. Yeah. Okay. You got to pay people to fluff his hair. Yeah. And you got to pay all the other people to do all the producing. So it's a little bit high in a price point, $34.95. But if there is something on here that is going to add to your routine, add to your repertoire, then it's absolutely worth it, because you're adding something strong. And the thing is, it's not a one trick. I mean, you might pay $34.95 and get 1 trick. Yeah. Where this you're paying $34.95, you get 7. It is worth X marks the spot.
Yeah, it is definitely. I think that is one of the more powerful ones.
The coffee stir through the
coffee stir is very nice.
Is extremely strong. So there are some strong effects on here, but the handlings, I think, on certain things could be changed. We did have one question for Nicholas. If you could respond with your gum effect. We're not going to give anything away, but is there a reason why we just can't take the gum out like that? I'm going to come up a little bit closer so he can kind of see. So here we are. There's the gum. Is there a reason that we just can't take it out like that? Let me know. I don't think there is, But again, if you watch the trailer, do it how he does it there, and it's extremely fair. So before, I did not give this DVD high remarks, and I want to say I'm not giving this DVD a higher mark because, oh, people were mad, and oh, I talked to Nicholas, and he told me to do this. Nicholas hasn't told me what to do for a number. We talked about this, and I said I'm still going to review it like I would any other DVD. I'm going to be more fair because I really was short on that last one. So if I was to review this again, we always
which you are.
Which I are. Doodly-doo. From 1 out of 10 bananas, because that's how we do things. 10 being 100%, 1 banana being 1%, I guess, or 10%, something like that. These are organic bananas, so they are much better. I'm gonna go with an 8.
Okay.
And the reason I'm going with an 8, it used to be a 3, but I'm gonna move it up to an 8. I've watched the DVD more times, had a chance to talk to Nicholas, and he even mentioned, you know, when I showed that card, I didn't really explain that I was really exaggerating it so people could see it. You know, sometimes they put notes in the DVD saying this is what he means or this is that. On that part there wasn't. So I'm thinking, wow, that's a terrible show. Mm-hmm. But so for that reason, and the fact that there are some strong effects in here that I think you can build on.
Yeah, I think so too.
You can take what he has and go, I want to adapt this in another way. Yeah. So, how about you? And the other reason it's not higher is I'm just not a fan of that price point.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
No,
it's just...
I've definitely paid a lot more for a lot worse.
Oh, gosh, yes.
I think I would actually probably... I think I'd go a little lower.
Okay, go ahead.
I think I'm going to probably go with the 7.
Okay.
Just because... It's like you said, it's not bad. The price point is high. I guess I don't know. I don't know.
You know,
I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm just not feeling an 8 on it because it's not really. It's kind of like you're set in stone on the things that you can do with this. I like having, and this is nothing against him or anybody. I just like having more of a theory into things. Maybe a little bit more explanation of kind of like why you're doing some of the things that you do and why it doesn't matter if something happens.
True. So, you know, like covering, I know he has some final thoughts, but also covering some what-if situations.
Yeah.
You know, what if someone, or what if this slips, or what if, and I mean, as a magician, we
or having there's not really anything, he doesn't really cover a pattern. You know, kind of give you an example pattern. Yeah. Because there's some people out there that are going to buy this DVD that have never done magic before, and they don't know any sort of pattern. I guess that would be my one critique on it. Is I guess
even when not explaining it, when he was showing it, like when he did the actual performance of it, to just give even a basic pattern.
If your style doesn't involve pattern, then it's perfect. But I guess you know he touches on pattern here, and it just doesn't really give an even example. I mean, you're always going to change to fit yourself, but like I said, for somebody that's very new to magic, doesn't have anything, they're not gonna. They're just gonna kind of do the.
If I were to rank this as beginner, intermediate, or advanced, I would probably go in between beginner and intermediate with the effects that are on there. Yeah. There's nothing really advanced on here that you're not going to be able to figure out.
Just a couple, 15, 20 minutes just playing.
I think a beginner could do folded really easy. I think a beginner could do the rubber band. I think they could do the match transpo. I think X would take a little bit more because...
it's just getting the hang of it.
The moves.
It's not difficult. None of the moves are difficult. It's just
being comfortable.
Playing with it. It's just like anything that you get,
So, there you go. That's the second review. SansMinds DVD. And he does, there is a little thing on here too that shows some of the other effects you can buy. And $34.95, something out of the ordinary. Oh, I forgot. Thank you, Nicholas, for including stuff to make gimmicks. Not everything is in here.
No.
But it is really nice to see when they actually put some of the supplies. All right, so there you go. That is the second review of Something Out of the Ordinary. My name is Michael Graves. This is Carlos Danger, and by the way, we're just relaxing tonight, so he's zooming it out. Show him your Zubas.
Zubas!
So.
Represent Minnesota.
Don't ever do that again.
I'm doing that every time.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I totally am.
So, There you go.
That's what I'm talking about. Peace, guys.